Good morning or afternoon, whenever you are working on this, and happy Thursday. Today we are going to be working on drawing conclusions from our graph. We're getting towards the end of topic 15. You will be working on this on Thursday, or excuse me, 14, on Thursday. And then we'll have lesson 14.6 on Monday, reteach on Tuesday, and your topic 14 test on Wednesday. So today we're going to be looking at graphs, filling in graphs, and then we're going to be answering some questions about the graph or drawing a conclusion. That means taking a look at all of our information and coming together with one or two final thoughts or pieces of information from our graph. So right here on our Solve and Share, it says 7 students voted for turtle as their favorite pond animal. 10 students voted for frog. 4 students voted for fish. Make a picture graph to show the data. Write 2 things. You can see 1 and 2. Write 2 things you notice about the data. So I would like you to pause this graph right now. You're going to use stars to count for 1 vote. Please pause this video and fill in your graph. And I'd like you to write down 2 things that you notice about the graph. So welcome back. Hopefully you unpause the video and are back now. I'm going to pull up 2 students' work just to show you an example, and I'm going to make them a little bit smaller so that we can look at this screen and this screen at the same time. So we have Mike's work and Leah's work. So if we look here, on our problem, it says 7 students voted for turtle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars for Mike under turtle. And we also have 7 stars for turtle under Leah's. 10 students voted for frog. If we count, Mike has 10 and so does Leah. And then for fish, both students have 4. So now we'll focus on the 2 things that each of them noticed from their graph. So we'll look at Mike's first. And Mike said that one thing that he noticed is that frogs have 10 votes, which is the most out of all 3 animals. So our 3 numbers are 7, 10, and 4. 10 was for frog. He is correct, right? 10 is larger than 7. It's also larger than 4, so that's the most. So he was able to see that when he looked at his picture graph, that frog had the most stars, which would tell us it had the most votes. And he also noticed that fish was the least favorite because they only had 4 votes. We can see that down here. It has the least number of stars as their symbol, which would tell us that it had the least number of votes. So both of Mike's things that he noticed about our graph and our data are correct. We go down to Leah's work. She says that more students like frogs than turtles. Okay, she's also correct. And she said that more students like turtles than fish. Again, she is also correct. However, Mike's work and sentences about what he notices from his data are a little bit more detailed. So although Leah is also correct, we like Mike's answers better because they are more detailed and give us more information about our graph. So that's something that I would like you to think about as you're working through your math today. Am I giving enough detail about my graph when I'm talking about what I notice?
Look at the bar graph. What does it show? The length of each bar shows how many tickets each person sold.
The students sold tickets to the carnival.
How do you read the bars in the graph?
So we're going to select each row in the bar graph to show what it represents.
Leah sold 2 tickets. Tino sold 1 ticket. Kim sold 5 tickets. Neil sold 4 tickets. For each name, you look at the end of the bar to see which number it lines up with. Leah sold 2 tickets. Tino sold 1 ticket. Kim sold 5 tickets. Neil sold 4 tickets.
And I am fine as you're working through this math, where this red line is here that shows the end of the bar graph to what number it represents. I am fine if you choose to draw this line if that helps you.
You can also compare information. Who sold the most tickets? Kim sold the most tickets. Who sold the least number of tickets? Tino sold the least number of tickets. How many more tickets did Kim sell than Tino? Five minus 1 equals 4. Kim sold 4 more tickets than Tino. How many fewer tickets did Neil sell than Kim? 5 minus 4 equals 1. Neil sold 1 less ticket than Kim. Now you know how to read a bar graph and use it to compare information.
All right. So again, these 2 boxes up at the top are just a review of the video that we just watched. Okay, you can always go back on this video and watch that video again. I also have given you access on the math website to watch that video as many times as you need to. Okay. So in the Do You Understand box, it says, look at the graph above. How many tickets did Kim and Neil sell in all? How do you know? So in all should be telling our brain to add. So we're going to look at Kim and Neil. And remember I told you could draw this little line down here to help you. So we know that we're going to be adding, right? So what I would like you to do right now is pause the video and figure out how many did Kim and Neil sell in all, and how do you know? So they sold 9 tickets in all. Okay, we had 5 plus 4. I used the bar graph to count the total number for Kim and Neil, and I added them together. All right, so what you are going to do is you'll have some graphs. Again, I can't scroll on this one, but you have a graph here and you have 1 or 2 questions that you need to solve using the bar graph. And then as you continue through, you're going to use this bar graph. And remember I told you a bar graph could go side to side, left to right, or it can go up and down. Okay, this is the same thing, except instead of having the numbers at the bottom, you have the numbers going up the side, but it's the same thing. If you want to draw that line to help you, okay, that is totally fine. I am all fine with whatever you need to do to help you best. So you are going to use this graph here to answer these questions, and then you're just going to continue working. Remember, we worked on giving more detail in what we notice about the graph to draw our conclusions. And when you get to the homework page, they're showing you a picture graph, which is what you did yesterday in math, and back to a bar graph again.